Hey there. Have you ever tried to make a huge positive change in your life, only to find yourself right back where you started a few weeks later? Yeah, it is so frustrating. But listen, it is not your fault. Today we're going to dive into a simple, kind of secret way to make changes that actually stick, because it works with your brain, not against it. Let's get into it.
You know the drill, right? It's January 1st, you're buzzing with motivation. You're going to get fit, you're going to learn Spanish, you're going to save a ton of money, but then February rolls around and all that energy is just gone. It happens to all of us, but the reason why it happens is fascinating, and it's all about how we're wired.
And look, this isn't just a hunch, it's a fact. According to research from Dr. Robert Maurer, the average American repeats the very same New Year's resolutions for 10 years without succeeding. 10, an entire decade. Clearly, the way we usually try to change things is just fundamentally broken.
So what is going on here? Is it that we just don't have enough willpower? Nope, not at all. The real culprit is actually a totally predictable biological response that's happening inside your brain. It's an ancient survival tool that, in our modern world, is actually getting in the way of our goals.
Think about it. Your brain is designed, by its very nature, to see any sudden, huge challenge as a potential threat. It doesn't matter if it's starting a business or a crazy new workout plan. It triggers a fear response. It's a safety feature, really, but it can't tell the difference between a real danger and a positive, ambitious goal. To your brain, big change just equals danger.
And this whole conflict really boils down to two parts of your brain that are basically at war with each other. On one side, you've got the amygdala. That's your brain's primitive alarm system. It's the part that screams, "Danger!" and kicks off that whole fight or flight thing. But on the other side, you've got the cortex. That's the sophisticated thinking part of your brain that you absolutely need for creativity, problem solving, and making those lasting changes happen.
And here is the absolute key. When you try to make some huge, radical leap, the amygdala sounds the alarm so loud that it basically slams the door shut on your cortex. That fear response literally blocks access to the part of your brain you need to succeed. It's like you're trying to drive a car with the emergency brake pulled all the way up.
So, this seems like a real dilemma, doesn't it? To make a change, you need your thinking brain, but the very act of trying to make a big change shuts that part down. So how in the world do you get around this biological security guard?
Well, the solution is actually incredibly simple and really elegant. It's a philosophy called Kaizen, and its real power is that it works with your brain's wiring instead of trying to fight against it. Kaizen literally means good change or improvement, and it's all about making tiny, consistent steps. I'm talking steps so small they seem almost silly to improve a habit or process over time. It is the exact opposite of a massive, radical overhaul.
And this isn't some new fad. The core ideas were actually used in the US back in the Great Depression to make the most of very scarce resources. Then, after World War II, this whole philosophy was crucial in helping Japan rebuild its entire economy, one small, steady improvement at a time. So yeah, this approach has been proven to work on a massive scale.
The legendary basketball coach John Wooden just summed up the whole idea of Kaizen perfectly with this quote. It's not about the giant leap you take today. It's about the tiny, consistent steps you take every single day. That's what leads to those huge results down the line.
So how does this actually trick your brain? Well, here's the secret sauce. By taking steps that are just ridiculously small, you literally sneak right past the amygdala. The change is so tiny, so trivial, that the brain's alarm system doesn't even bother to go off. The fight or flight response never gets triggered, which means your thinking brain, the cortex, stays online, ready to help you build those new habits.
Okay, so the theory is awesome, but how do you actually put this into practice? Let's break down 3 simple but really powerful tools from the Kaizen toolkit that you can literally start using today. All right, tool number 1 is asking small questions. A big, bold statement like, "I will get in shape," can feel, well, kind of scary to your brain. But a small, gentle question like this one, it's totally different. It doesn't sound any alarms. Instead, it gets your cortex curious and starts sparking creative ideas to find an answer. Tool number 2 is taking small actions. Now, these actions might seem laughably easy, and honestly, that's the whole point. Can you jog in place for just 1 minute? Of course you can. Can you learn one new word a day? Absolutely. The goal here isn't some massive overnight transformation. It's to build a habit that's just too easy to fail at. That's how you build momentum. And tool number 3 is this really cool technique called mind sculpture. This is basically a superpowered visualization where you mentally rehearse yourself doing something successfully and you engage all your senses.
You're actually training your brain for a new habit before you even physically do it.
And this isn't just some nice idea. It's a technique that elite performers swear by. We're talking about athletes like Michael Jordan and Jack Nicklaus. They used this kind of mental rehearsal to perfect their skills and stay calm under pressure. It gets you mentally prepared so you can bypass the fear when it's time to actually do the thing. And it is so easy to do. You just pick a task that feels a little intimidating, find a quiet spot for a few minutes, close your eyes, and just vividly imagine yourself doing it perfectly. What does it look like? What does it sound like? How do you feel? You are literally carving new pathways in your brain for success.
And finally, to keep all that good momentum going, it's really important to give yourself small rewards. But the type of reward really matters. They should be appropriate, match the size of the step you took. They should be relevant to your goal, and they should be inexpensive. Get this, the source material points out that big, flashy prizes can actually kill your internal drive. Small, thoughtful rewards are way more effective for reinforcing a habit. So, we've covered the why and the how. Now, the only thing left to do is, well, to start. The best thing about Kaizen is you don't have to wait for Monday or the first of the month or the perfect moment. You can start right now, today, with one tiny little step.
So here is your challenge. Pick one goal. Just one. Spend maybe 2 minutes using that mind sculpture technique to visualize what success feels like. Then, decide on one laughably small action you can take. Maybe it's just putting on your running shoes and taking them off. Maybe it's looking up one healthy recipe online. That's it. And then just do it again tomorrow. Consistency is everything. And that's it. That's the magic trick we're playing on our own brains. We are making a change that is so small, so non-threatening, that our ancient alarm system just kind of yawns and lets it slide. This is how you sneak past resistance and create effortless, lasting change.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Forget the huge, scary plan for a minute. Just focus on right here, right now. What one tiny, almost insignificant step will you take today to move just a little bit closer to the person you want to become?